Oh my word, jeez, that is cursed. Hello and welcome back to ThrillNet, bringing you everything thrill related in the UK and beyond via the internet. And today I'm going to be going over everything you need to know regarding Blackpool Pleasure Beach's Journey to Hell Freak Nights event for 2021, including several brand new insane scare zones, they're calling them, that they've announced for this year that weren't part of the event in 2019, as well as who the event is suitable for and ticket prices, etc, etc. Journey to Hell is set to be an action-packed Halloween event for the park, so make sure you watch this video to the very end so you don't miss any important information. So what is the Journey to Hell Freak Nights event? How much does it cost? And when does it run? Journey to Hell Freak Nights is a terrifying experience-led event that made its debut at Blackpool Pleasure Beach in 2019. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19 restrictions, it didn't go ahead in 2020. However, Blackpool Pleasure Beach have made the decision to bring it back for 2021, and it's going to be running on select dates between the 8th and 31st of October. It's important to note that despite the fact this event takes place in Blackpool Pleasure Beach, it's a separate ticketed event, so your standard Blackpool Pleasure Beach e-ticket isn't going to get you very far. A Blackpool Pleasure Beach Journey to Hell ticket will set you back £32 per person. In my opinion, this is really good value for money when considering the event contains 9 quote-unquote scare zones that you will go through. And to top it all off, the event takes place after park hours, meaning you'll get to see and even ride some of the Blackpool Pleasure Beach rides after dark. Now, without further ado, let's get into talking about those 9 scare zones that are going to be part of this year's Journey to Hell Freak Nights event, along with what they will entail according to the website, as well as my speculations about what spooky goings on could be happening within them. So the first quote-unquote scare zone we come to on the website is the Legend of the Cursed River Caves. And it seems that these caves are home to an evil sorcerer that has demons everywhere to curse your souls. So yeah, I think it's safe to assume that this scare zone is going to incorporate Blackpool Pleasure Beach's River Caves ride, which opened all the way back in 1905. It's actually the second oldest operating ride at the park. And the storyline seems like it's going to consist of an evil sorcerer that's basically cursed these river caves and created all sorts of nasty creatures. In my opinion, I think this could turn out to be a really good scare attraction. I can just picture live actors in various scenes of the River Caves ride, because it is important to remember, with this being a horror-themed Halloween event, it will feature live actors to enhance the experience, and I would definitely expect to see live actors in the River Caves because there's room for them to hide, there's room for them to jump scare, so why not? We've obviously got the jungle scene where you could have some cursed monkeys, elephants, etc. You've obviously also got the Egyptian scene where you could have all mummies, you've got Angkor Wat, you've got the Chinese scene, so I think this could turn out to be a really good scare attraction and a very unique way to experience river caves. So the next of the 9 scare zones I'm going to talk about is Devil's Gate, and it's difficult to confirm anything with you guys surrounding this one because there's actually not a description for this on the website. However, the website does state that the Devil's Gate will remain open after the experience for guests to enjoy food, drink and live entertainment. This suggests to me that Devil's Gate could act as a hub area and could link into the Journey to Hell story, because the story stood in 2019 that your goal was to seal the portal to hell, and now the words Devil's Gate suggest to me that this is the portal to hell that you are trying to seal, and obviously that portal is called the Devil's Gate. So I'm getting the impression here that the Devil's Gate is going to operate as a bar or restaurant area that guests are free to remain in after the experience. So it suggests to me that they're going to encounter this at the end, or possibly the start as well, before they head off on their journey to hell to try and close the portal, which could indeed be the Devil's Gate itself. It's interesting because in 2019 the Pleasure Beach kept the horror bar at the end of their Passage del Terror scare attraction open for guests to remain in after the experience ended. Who knows, maybe the Devil's Gate is a renamed overhaul of Passage del Terror, because Passage del Terror is famous for featuring a gatekeeper scene where you're essentially passing through the gates to hell. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Was the gates to hell, or that's at least the impression I get from POVs, classed as the portal to hell in the 2019 event, and it's now being referred to as Devil's Gates, and you're going to go through there and be able to hang out in the horror bar again? Or is Devil's Gate going to refer to a different area of the pleasure beach, such as the hub, for example? That's been utilised for a lot of entertainment with Oktoberfest and other events the park have been putting on throughout the summer. And there's also other bars that they could use, such as the Horseshoe. So yeah, what this is, Devil's Gate is going to entail, this scare zone, is very, very uncertain at this point. The next of the 9 scare zones I'm going to talk about is the Hell Tunnels. Now, this is actually a returning attraction from 2019, it seems like, where it was known as the Underground Horror Tunnels, I believe. So it's had a bit of a rename and a rebrand. The idea of the Hell Tunnels, or Underground Horror Tunnels, which are actually located underneath the pleasure beach, by the way. These are staff backstage areas that were utilised for Blackpool Pleasure Beach's Journey to Hell events in 2019 for guests for the first ever time, assuming that the Hell Tunnels will take place the same place as the Underground Horror Tunnels, which, well, the name certainly suggests so. It's an area of the pleasure beach that not many guests have been able to experience before. It seems as though the story is going to be centred around some survivors that feed on dread and despair, which is actually also different from 2019. The storyline of the attraction in 2019 essentially focused on creatures from hell, with obviously the main story of the event being to seal the portal to hell that all these awful creatures are getting through. And the idea of the Hell Tunnels was that these housed the wildest, most evil, most crazy creatures of them all from hell. However, this time it seems like that they're going to be housing some survivors that haven't been killed by all the creatures that have managed to get into the pleasure beach from hell, or at least that's what it seems. So it's going to be interesting. Never be foolish enough to travel through the next scare zone I'm going to talk about alone. I'm of course talking about the Valley of Carnival Freaks, and immediately we can see from the description on the website there's mention of a ringmaster, Carnival being a play on carnival. This is a clown themed scare zone for sure, I imagine. I don't know what this is going to be because it's brand new. I can't see any rides fitting with this description. I can only assume that it's going to be ran down a path in the park, or is it going to be a scare maze? It's important to note that Pleasure Beach are using the term scare zone interchangeably here, because some of these so-called scare zones are clearly scare mazes. If the park are not going to be very adventurous, then they'll implement this as a scare zone. Maybe they'll do it down the avalanche path. However, me and my good friend Josh from Theme Park Mad, who you'll have been seeing in a lot of my videos if you've been watching the channel for a while, have been discussing possible venues for scare maze that don't include the Chinese puzzle maze, because it's pretty clear that that's already going to be utilised for a returning attraction from the 2019 event, which I'll get onto later. However, me and Josh have discussed that the bowler drone that currently houses an old arcade could be used as a scare maze if the Pleasure Beach put some boards up. Maybe they could put some shipping containers in there and just lead you around the machines. You don't want the machines in view, obviously, but that could easily be converted into a scare maze. Or they could even do a small one using a marquee or shipping containers on the site where the fountains are, or the old Trauma Towers site. Trauma Towers itself was a haunted walk-through attraction, therefore there's definitely enough room there for a scare maze. So the next scare zone I'm going to talk about, and well done on the name for this Pleasure Beach, is the Big Dark Abyss. How original, I know. In which guests are going to be endlessly falling into the depths of terror. Some people have speculated that this could be Ice Blast blindfolded or by some means, because obviously you've got the word falling in there. Ice Blast has a free-for-all drop after you're launched up to the top, and I can't think what else that would be, to be honest. Like, how else would you fall in Blackpool Pleasure Beach? I really don't know. And the darkness suggests the blindfolds or the bags over the head to me, so it could just be Ice Blast blindfolded. Hopefully they put some actors around there or something, spruce it up a bit. possibly change the announcement on Ice Blast before you're launched up, and if you've ridden it, you'll know what I mean. Who knows what this attraction is going to entail, but it sure does sound exciting. Our next scare zone then is what seems to be another attraction-based scare zone, and that is the Day of the Dead Ghost Train, in which we're going to be experiencing all things living and all things dead. Of course, I think that this could be incorporating the classic Ghost Train, the world's first ghost train, into Journey to Hell. And this could be very exciting, Day of the Dead, so I'm expecting it to be themed to the festival in Mexico, I believe, and it to incorporate a lot of schools. I imagine they'll put actors in there and spruce it up. I think it's going to be quite similar to the River Caves idea, maybe not quite as extravagant, possibly just going to be based on the Day of the Dead festival and nothing else really, but I'm really looking forward to this. The next scare zone or scare maze I'm going to be talking about then, and well done Pleasure Beach again with the name of this one, is Scare Maze. Yeah, that's literally the name. This is a returning attraction again actually, and in 2019 it was based in the Chinese puzzle maze, so I imagine it's going to be based there again. It was actually themed around clowns in 2019, so it was a clown maze. However, with the Carnival attraction, and based off the description on the website, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case this year, with the mention of the lost souls that have been roaming for eternity. It seems like they're going to be going for more of a ghostly feel, which is going to be interesting. The next scare zone we're going to go through is Blind Faith, which actually has the Icon logo on its concept art. For those who aren't aware, in 2019, guests got to experience Icon in the dark, blindfolded, as part of Journey to Hell. The Icon logo suggests that could be coming back. The blind in Blind Faith suggests that guests are going to be blindfolded and they're going to be experiencing this particular attraction blind. The idea of speed, stealth and darkness further reinforces that. I am 99% sure that it's going to entail what I think it's going to entail. And the final scare zone we need to talk about is the Pledge Dark Magic. Again, similar to the Carnival attraction, this is another one that doesn't have a description on the website. It's just mentioned in the promotional video for the event. So, similar to Carnival, this could entail a lot of different things. Is it a scare zone? Is it a scare maze? Where is it going to be located? Or will it be a return of the Planet Rock show that was part of Journey to Hell in the 2019 event? I believe that show went by the name Algae Paranormal or something along those lines, and it was a supernatural show, so who knows, the Pledge Dark Magic could just be a rename of that. I believe it involved a professor or something who thought they knew a way to close the portal to hell, something along those lines, but at the end of the day, who knows what it could entail. The website currently states that the event is suitable for those aged 10+. However, I swear I can recall other sources stating that it's suitable for those aged 13 and over. That's what the website said in 2019, and I swear that's what it said when I looked at it last week. It is worth noting that the event will include the following. But 2019's event featured sexual content, they said. Well, I'm guessing due to the fact that a certain S&M arena appears to no longer be part of the event that there's no sexual content this year, guys. I know, I'm gutted, and I bet you are too. On a serious note though, parents, I recommend using that list of things that the event will include to make a decision of whether or not it is suitable for your child. For more things Fro related in the UK and beyond, be sure to click the icon at the bottom of your screen to subscribe. For more information and to book your tickets for Journey to Hell Freak Nights 2021, be sure to check out the link in the description of this video. And be sure to click the video on the right side of your screen for all the latest surrounding the reimagining of Valhalla. I'm Ben, thank you so much for watching Thrillnet, and I'll see you in another video.